Is there a reason why we're waiting?
Now call order roll call, please, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Thompson. Present. Trustee Wilson. Here. Trustee Brooks.
Present.
Here.
I'm present. Please stand for our pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have motion for approval of the minutes.
So move.
Moved by Brooks. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Brooks. Trustee Pat. Both sides. Both sides. Trustee Brooks. Both sides.
So tight, Madam Clerk. Would someone please bring up the general public comments?
Madam Clerk.
Trustee Brooks. I will call it twice. Trustee Brooks.
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
Can I comment? No, I was gonna say, thank you, Madam Clerk, for putting the concession, public concession in there to the mayor for the race. I appreciate it. That's it. Concession, I made the concession, I made the motion first to concede and accept the results of the election. I seen the recounts and they were accurate.
Right, public comments, Sonia, thank you, Bill, please. Yeah, next we see Lease O'Brien.
Good evening, board. Mayor. The last time I was on the board, it was a few months ago, we hired a lobbyist by the name of Frank Bass. He told us that he would be lobbying in Springfield for our water. Well, lo and behold, I got a call from someone in Will County. When I received the call, they told me that he was lobbying on behalf of creating a committee, authority committee that will allow the governor to have 2 appointed paid seats and our mayor to have 3 appointed paid seats to take over our economic development as well as annexation. I have a problem with that. He did not bring that information to our community. He did not bring that information to our current board. So what he's done is undermine our current board. And I'm having a major problem with that. I am asking the board to find out who originated this bill. The bill's number is HB 3706, and see where it came from.
What is it?
It's HB 3706. Who sponsored it, where it came from, and what gave him the right to do that. I also want to let the residents and the audience know that it was pushed through the House and it passed by 113 votes. And someone that was forgiving and cares about our community stalled it in the Senate. So therefore, it failed. If these things like this are happening in our community, we need to keep a close eye on what's going on. How do you get the right to annex our land with a committee that may not be comprised of our residents? And two, we don't know who they would have picked. And if this is what is going on right now, what else is going on behind this board's back? So please stay woke, University Park. Know that my ear is to the ground, even though I'm not on the board. And I'm finding out things, and any information that I find out that is going to bring anything negative to this community, I will come and give you a report. Thank you and have a wonderful evening. Happy holiday. My son is home. Thank him for his service, Kobe Bell. Thank you.
Speaking of Bell, would you by chance have that written?
Yes, ma'am.
Could I get a copy?
Yes, ma'am.
Good one, Mayor,
Thank
since you
you.
don't know what it is.
Bernice O'Brien.
Don't get one that Joe.
Hello, everyone, the board and everybody. I just want to take this time out. First, I'm gonna start back with an incident that happened here a month ago with me, a family member of the mayor's and the chief. I was want to personally apologize to the chief for my behavior. Once I'm out of that zone, it's hard for me to get back. And I just want you to know, I apologize to you, nothing against you. It was just at that moment when I was threatened, I had to do something about it. That's all to it, okay? And I want to talk about, Mayor, I spoke to you a year or so ago about eminent domain when you told me that it wasn't here. But I came to find out you were fully aware of that because you had brought up a couple of the houses out here. Eminent domain is, I'll question you about people, citizens here in the community buying up big houses for $1 and they have to show proof that they can remodel the house up in 3 months or 6 months. You said it wasn't here, but it is here. The community has opportunity. Get the empty building houses here and buy them, get them for $1. Just like we discussed Fort Heights and everywhere else. We did. And I just wanted to know about that. Maybe the village manager can help the community out with that when I question you about it. And I do want to know more about it. And then also about all the committees that y'all formed, people signed up for a week or two ago, how you go about signing up for some of the committees that you have going on out here. That's all I have.
All right, Ms. O'Brien, thank you so much. Johnny?
Mayor, you gonna respond?
Well, Ms. O'Brien, I will respond. I don't know what you're talking about, eminent domain. The eminent domain that I spoke about was the village taking eminent domain over the cityscape property in this car wash. Anything else, I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I was talking to you about the houses. We was discussing the houses.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right, thank you. Johnny? McGowan?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
How you doing? My name is Johnny McGowan. I'm interested in bringing a community center to the area. It's 165,000 square feet. It entails 6 basketball courts, 12 volleyball courts.
We didn't hear you back here.
I'm
What
sorry.
kind of center, sir? I'm sorry.
A community center.
Community center.
A community center. 6 basketball courts, 12 volleyball courts, barbershop, media room, culinary kitchen, suicide counseling, trade program, life skill programs, GED classes. And I'm interested in bringing it out to this community.
Okay. Any questions? Trustee, Williams?
Is that part of this, discussion about the Bo Jackson, is it on those same guidelines?
I don't know anything about that.
Okay, because I know that you were talking about a sports arena.
Okay.
We're gonna have all these different
Okay,
sports and things.
yeah, I don't know anything about that.
Okay, so this is something.
It's something separate, yes. Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
where's yours coming from, sir?
Actually, I just moved out to South Holland over in this area. And, it's, I'm just trying to find some land so I can develop it.
Can you give us a little bit on your background?
Yeah. My name, like I said, I'm a general contractor, for like 10 years. And I also have a mentoring program for young kids, from 5 all the way through college. And I had that for like 14 years.
Have you brought it to the board for a workshop? Have you requested a workshop with the?
No, this is my first time coming here. It's my first time reaching out.
Okay.
Yes, now be
McGowan,
recognized.
Trustee Brooks?
Yeah. Mr. McGowan, I just, you brought it up. Have you had a general area that you had thought about that you wanted?
Yeah, actually, I'm not for sure the address, but I got it on my phone, like 21 acres on, give me 1 second, I can tell you exactly where it's at.
Yeah.
It's, sorry about that.
And the 21 acres is of course close to
Yes,
the, to where kids from Brittany Woods.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get an exact address.
Okay,
I apologize.
that's okay.
At 725 University Parkway.
725.
Yes, sir. It's 21 acre lot.
Is it for sale now?
So,
Yes, yes.
What is it? Have you talked to the mayor about this, sir?
yeah, so.
No, ma'am, it's my first time, no, ma'am. I'm just reaching out. So.
Yeah, okay. I yield my time, Mr. Mayor.
Why don't you just stay in touch with our manager and
Okay,
we'll take you through the process.
okay. I'm sorry. Martin Concepts Construction. Martin Concepts Construction.
Do you have a card?
Yes, ma'am.
May I have the card and then I'll reach out?
Okay.
I like what's.
Okay, Bobby Greer?
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, board members. I have just a simple question, and it's in regards to all of the trustees. I would like to know about them being on liaisons on different committees and commissions. And if you are already on one, if you could announce the ones that you are on, and if the other trustees are not, how is it gone about that they also get on committees and commissions as liaisons? And also, my question is, why isn't, I'm thinking as I should have written this down, but the question is, why isn't information brought to the residents when we have our trustees going out to seminars and workshops? We never get anything back to the village residents as to what you are bringing back, what you have learned. And I would like to see that. And last few months ago, before we had the new trustees transition in, I had asked, please, if there are any questions asked by the residents, that the trustees or the mayor can answer, please answer. Because I do not want to go through what we have gone through in the past, where people ask questions and we get blank stares and no answers. Please don't do that. Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Grid, just a little housekeeping, record. The policy is if they choose to respond, they do have until the next board meeting to respond. So if you do not get a response at the meeting tonight, if they choose to respond, they will be able to respond at the next.
I did read that. However, the last meeting, we had trustees responding, and also we had you as the mayor responding. So I know it is a choice, but hopefully, this is the new day. And if we are asking questions that the trustees and also you, mayor, can answer, please do so.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Sure, Trustee Thompson.
So, Ms. Greer, I did post, Trustee Fulcher and I did attend the South Suburban Mayors and Managers newly elected officials training on Saturday. I posted it on Nextdoor. I don't post about on Nextdoor, but that's the only forum I had to let people know that we are doing something. Because we have a lot of learning to do as well. And I put a little bit, because it was so much, I could only put a little bit about what we did. Right.
However, though, I just thought about this. We have two trustees that were here before. What are they liaisons on committees, commissions? I mean, I'm sure you can answer that question. It's not a secret.
Sure. I'm the liaison for the Bowls Committee.
What is that?
Mayor's office, special events.
Oh, special events.
And the water.
And the water?
And it's Veteran Affairs too.
And veteran affairs? No, no.
What water are you speaking of? Not drinking water.
The aqua water.
Yeah, I know you're not talking about that.
Yes.
Now, we still have bad water? You're not doing nothing there. This has been like 4 years.
We're still
All right.
in litigation, literally.
Hi, I'm Trustee Janelle McFadden, and I am on the Finance Committee. I am the liaison for the Finance Committee.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Have they got to be members for the Finance Committee?
Mrs. Morgan, please stop yelling out. Let's stay in order.
We
Mrs.
can't have a Finance Committee
Yeah.
without members.
So,
Mrs. Morgan, please do not yell out and talk to the trustees. And we're gonna do this in order.
I'm not insulted, I'm just asking.
No, I said, we're not gonna have you yelling out, please, okay? Not anymore.
yeah. So Ms. Greer, I am not currently on or liaison to a committee. Prior to it, though, I was on the Aqua Committee with the mayor. So this is a new day, and I see we have veterans tonight, and you can't be a liaison to the Police and Fire Commission, especially after the controversy before. So yeah, I'm not on any, and this is the third trustee that's still here.
Trustee Wade.
Okay, I was not able to attend Saturday, but I would like to find out, is it the mayor's choice or whose choice for us to pick the committees or commissions we would like to be liaisons to? Also, I know that the trustees, some of the older trustees that were here prior to us went on a trip to Las Vegas, or where was that at?
Vegas.
Okay, the recon. And I would like to hear a report, because if I attend any of those type of conferences, I intend to bring the information back. When I went with my teachers, I did workshops, I did everything I could to educate them on what I learned to make sure they were abreast and brought up to snuff. And I think we need to practice that and do the same thing.
Thank you, Trustee Wade. Leon Taylor.
How you guys doing? My name is Leon Taylor. Primo Neat, graduate class of 2022. I would like to thank Ms. Elizabeth Scott for giving me the opportunity to be in the summer internship program.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Hope you do a good job. John Long.
That's what I want to see. That's what we need to see.
Good evening,
Good evening, sir.
Mr. Mayor, trustees, and attendants. My name is John Long, and I'm the president of the LMW Group and the executive director of the Illinois Youth Investment Program, in which we have 14 young people.
Can't hear you, sir.
Can you hear me? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll start it real quick. My name is John Long, and I'm the president of the LMW Group, in which we're sponsoring the Illinois Youth Investment Program, sponsored by the state of Illinois. And I want to thank Mrs. Scott and Ms. Childress for helping us with our program. And I come to you not complaining about things or how done, but we were upset when we saw one of our children, one of our students posted on your next door media. And they made a statement, and the statement was made that, and we are paying for it. Sound like the village is paying for these young people. And as you know, this program is a youth investment program paid by the state of Illinois, in which we pay the salaries of these young people. And also, I know someone was concerned that these young people was out of the district. This program was introduced to us by Mrs. E, as we say about the past.
Mrs.
Administrator, can you hear? Let me just hold the mic a little closer. We were invited to work with the village because they were in need of young people to work and help with the village in terms of maintenance and cleaning up the village and helping them doing that. And that's how the program started. Mrs. Childress was just the community person, because the administrator that set up everything and where the program is supposed to be, the maintenance office, etc. So she was just the person, because ironically, when we first started, she said, I just got this message about 3 days ago that I'm not in charge of the young people. And the young people did an excellent job, and they were very honored by the trustees at that time that came out to them. And we just wanted to make sure that we try to work together, because Mrs. Childress tried and asked me, could she get some young people from University Park? But the problem was that the program had been really set at that point. This is our third year, and we were into the last 3 months, and we just didn't have anything. And as you know, these 3-year programs, these youth programs are pretty much set, especially for people outside of the city of Chicago. And she was working very hard, and we were working hard to do that. But she came off in terms of saying that we will work with you and try to make these young people the best people they can. However, in leaving you, we will work with you if you want to have for the next round of investment program, because this program is a 3-year program, and we will be happy to work with you, either your grant writer to write one for yourself, or we can include it with our next grant that we're writing for. But again, thank you for the service, and please, these are young people. Let's treat them. These are young people who are at came from that risk environment, and they need the support. They do not need to be badgered and things like that, but give them support, and we will help support you.
Did someone badger them?
Thank you, Mr. Long. Ho. Listen, come up from all the board of trustees, trustee McFadden, trustee Williams, and trustee Brooks.
Yes.
And Thompson.
Hi, Mr. Long. I went up to Village Hall today to take care of some business, and I saw the young people there with Miss Keeley. They were doing an excellent job. I introduced myself to them, told them if they needed anything. It was some residents from University Park needed direction somewhere. Keeley sent the young lady to show them where to go. So they were excellent today when I met them. So thank you.
Right, and we're about the people.
Right.
The young people, yes.
Okay, I just want to say, I do think the program is excellent, but confusion came in that we were hearing that the children were from another community and our own children had not been afforded an opportunity to work in this community. So it was nothing against you or your program. We just felt slighted that our own youth were not offered jobs. We had a job fair here, but that job fair were for jobs out of the community. So we want to know why couldn't our own children work in the community and do some of the things that your program was. Again, it's not against you, but it's only being fair to let our youth also have those opportunities because they're loafing the street. They have nothing to do. I did see the children. They were well behaved, well mannered, spoke nicely, and they were doing work. But we also want to take care of home. Charity starts here. So we just want to take care of ours as well. So we applaud you for your program, but we just want to incorporate our children as well.
Yeah, we really tried to incorporate some of the people in there, but we were running against, because we were at the end of our program. And DHS didn't want us to make any changes on that. And we had started with our target group, which was not in it. But they said we couldn't make the changes. And we just, really felt bad that we couldn't add 2 or 3 more young people to it. She tried and we tried. And hopefully in October, when they put out the RFP, that we can assist you in any way possible.
And I do want to commend Ms. Scott that she did make it happen, that we were allowed to get our own children also a part of the program after I had talked to her, so that was good.
Trustee Brooks.
Yes, mine is more of a comment from through experience. As you know, a decade in Harvey as the youth officer. That is true that you have Chicago, then you have the suburbs. Whenever I had an issue and I was by myself, a town of 30,000 people, including the kids, I was in control of that. I want to make a point that I see one fact, because I agree with my colleague, we do need University Park kids involved. And in my eyes, it was a failure. And that the village manager had to pick up the ball on those things. The reason why I say that, sir, is because we just witnessed, everybody in this room just witnessed a 14-year-old basically had to defend his mama and shoot a grown man who punched his mama in the face repeatedly. When I see that, sometimes, I think I see my wife walk through the door. I have to turn the TV off. Sometimes it annoys me because we got to find something for the kids. I want to make sure that the next go around, I don't care what we have to do, we cannot let that failure happen again, that our kids are left out. Because at any given time, UP is a great place. You're looking at somebody, I was a little badass. And my mama took me right up into the police station to Chief Easley. He told me, yeah, you from Chicago, but you're not that tough. You need to be a police explorer. That's when Daryl Stroud, his mom, Daryl Stroud, mama right there, raised a fine man. It was a program of the explorers that changed it. So I'm emphasizing to the people, you're looking at a product of a woman who came here, she fell in love, she married a man, brought her kids, and it was a program of being a police explorer. I wanted to be a truck driver, I wanted to do something, I was a blue collar man, I didn't care about no police. But at this point, I got up there, turned around, went to the 4th district, and was ended up working, you talking to a man, just because I did that, I could smell when Jerry Reinsdorf was in the building because I would bring him his mail. So it's so important that you never know what we can produce out here, and that's a failure that we can't allow to happen anymore. So I want to thank you. I was disappointed when I heard it wasn't on UP kids initially, but I think as a board and as a community, as we sit here, I want everybody to sit and think. We just had a young man just walk up here and thank the village manager. So UP has so much, and this board has just changed. And I know at this point, at least for the next 2 years, it better not happen again. So I want to thank you for what you do, but also at the same time, those mechanisms that put our kids in place to do something and help them do something for the summer. Because I promise you, talking to somebody who gets up at 2, 3 in the morning, they had to go take somebody to the detention center from Harvey just because they out there with a gun at 14 years old. So thank you, sir.
Right, I agree with you. And one of the things that I really recommend, and I think you probably, is that youth have to be one of the recommendations. People talk about economic development, but they have to talk about youth development. And I think that's the thing that we, that I hope that everyone would take in priority in terms of looking at the program and looking at the youth. They're just important as developing ability.
Yes. That's the future. Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Long.
Thank you.
Now, we've got a couple of more people left on the call, but we've already extended our 30 minutes for our public comments, but I'll make an exception. So we'll have Ms. Cummings come up next. Just for the record, that's the thing. It's 3 minutes per person. And it's a total of 30 minutes for public comment. We have exceeded that, but I will let the next 2 people go ahead and get their comments out, including you, Ms. Kelly.
Okay.
Good evening, board, Mayor. Here today, thank you, young man. When we had years ago, we had something that was Ms. Brooks and Paula Wilson, and we had 36 kids. It's a federal fundings that was given for children, and we got 36 kids out of this village job. So, and that's kind of strange to hear. It's been for 3 years, and it's just being activated. But I like to also get a status of the, speaking of children, the little ones that vandalized my daughter's tree. That's a shrine to her. I haven't got it, it's been 2 weeks. And also to elaborate on what was said about House Bill HB 3706. These people are very good friends of mine, and they were very disturbed about it. And she said that Representative Debbie Meyer said that she talked to Mr. Bass and she told him, she's very upset with him. And she did not know this was not board approved. And she this morning went to the clerk and asked for her name to be removed for such. She said this is not board approved. She was hoodwinked. She's very upset about it. And it was in limbo. As a matter of fact, she talked to me last night for a long time. And she said that she's removing her name on this. She does not want to have a part of it, but it is currently in limbo. And also she said this went to the Senate and the Senate has not committed a committee to it. She does, and she talked to the senators, Senator Hastings and another senator, to kill it as of now. And they're very upset. And they say they wouldn't dare do anything like this because this is considered as slumlords and the village would be on a hoodwink for it. So I think she said from this day forward, anything come from University Park, it has to have proof because if this guy is doing this, and we didn't need a lobbyist anyway, like I said earlier, because you pay for one through the South Suburban Mayor Management. So that's an expenditure we do not need to occur. So with that said, I'm just really upset about that and to think that they would do this and sell us down the road. We would look like Warren Heights and take some pictures over there and see. And then also over in our own village, it's looking really, really bad. Over there in Vistas. We went through there, I rode through there for 4 hours. It's unbelievable. I don't know where our code enforcement is. It's the village is looking terrible and they need to really get on it. Okay, and I'm really upset. I need to know about these children because it really put me into a shock to see some children. I have them on video because my camera goes from this way to the end of the street. And I will get you in the backyard, wherever you come, it's there. And these children did that. That was unspeakable to me for that to happen. So I hope that these children do get employment and I hope that they get some good people to counsel them as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'm sorry for your any inconvenience. Mrs. Morgan?
Hello, everybody. Mr. Long. Where's the gentleman? Mr. Long.
Mrs. Morgan, your 3 minutes are to address the mayor and the board of trustees, not the audience. If you want to talk to Mr.
I'd like to talk to Mr. Long.
Well, please do it after your
And
question.
to the audience. I was there that morning when I saw 2 vans drop off 6 children apiece as other cars pulled up and dropped off children. And I greeted the children. So, Mr. Long, I wanted to say to you, somebody's been lying to you. The children were greeted by me. I have no, and that's not even in my spirit, to be mean to children. I greeted the children, spoke to them, and I asked them, where are you from? Because I'm inquisitive that way. And they said they were from Lansing. And I said, oh, wonderful, wonderful. And then I talked with the driver, asking questions. I can do that. I can do that. When I see our children loafing the street, doing absolutely nothing, when we have begged for years and years for our children to have jobs, to give them jobs, to give them something to do, to teach them how to manage their money, teach them good job ethics, it is not fair. And I don't care what nobody thinks. I am blunt but honest. I don't care what nobody thinks. It is not fair that our children here in University Park are totally neglected. They have no activities, they have no jobs, they have nothing to do. And then to have another village bring their children here, those children are nice. I met them, I saw them. I saw them myself. I watched them. The chief can attest to that. And they're wonderful kids. I saw them doing a lot of work that get paid pretty good in University Park, like that garden back there. That's a mess. And those kids are over there cleaning that up. But those children are wonderful children. And I did not say anything out of the way. And Mrs. Scott, thank you for, I guess, being forced to hire our children, to give them something to do. Thank God we have Trustee Gina Williams, who gave our children jobs. The trustees up here, Vulture, Jewel, and Brooks, gave our children jobs.
Thank you, Mrs. Morgan.
It was nobody else but them. And I will do it again and again. And Mr. Long, you were lied to. The children experienced no hardship, no problems at all.
Thank you, Mrs. Morgan.
Another thing I want to say.
Mrs. Morgan, your time is.
Another thing I want to say.
You have exhausted
I
your
want to
time,
talk
Mrs.
about sinkhole that's right there on Sandra Drive. I want to talk about the 5 trees, that are.
Time is up. Let's go.
The 5 dead
Ms.
trees
Morgan,
that
let's
are
go.
on
Ms. Morgan, Ms. Morgan, come on,
Harvest.
let's go. You gotta
That's
go.
what I want to talk about.
Ms. Morgan, let's go.
Can I hear
Ms.
anything about the
Morgan.
sinkhole?
Please don't make me have to. Let's go, Ms. Morgan. Let's go. You have to leave.
I'm getting my purse.
I'll get your purse first.
I'll get my purse.
No, I'll get your purse first. Ms.
I'll
Morgan,
get my own
Ms. Morgan,
purse.
I'll get your
I
purse.
wanted
for
to
you.
just
I need you to
respond
start
to
going
the
this.
residents. I kind of wanted to wait till everybody had a chance to say what they have to say. Trustee O'Brien I'm not trustee, but Mrs. O'Brien, we definitely gonna look into that about the housing where you can buy out the home. There is a lot of people that want to be able to help develop those homes that are costing dollars. So I will, look into that for you, and get back with you next board meeting. Trustee Jenkins, thank you for bringing out about the HD House Bill HD 3706. Yes, I am aware of it. The University Park Development Authority Act. This bill was something that went through when you were in the office. And from what you're understanding, that was not presented to the trustees, and that's something that should have been. What the act is where they was creating a group of 5 board members who will determine all the economic development that occurs at University Park, as well as some type of annexation. They will be the ones to determine it, not the board members, not the residents. And that's something that I'm glad that it did not get passed in the Senate, and that's something that we're gonna make sure that we keep an eye out. Thank you, Mayor Covington, for bringing out the information of the update from Debbie Myers, stating that she was not aware that the board did not approve it and did not know about it, and that she's gonna be taking her name off of as the sponsor. She was one of the sponsors, as well as Senator Hastings. So thank you for that update, because that is something that we want to make sure that all of our South suburban communities are supporting one another and not doing things that the residents nor the board are aware of. Mr. Long, thank you for coming and speaking to us about hopefully we can work with the kids next year with the grant. That's definitely something I hope that, like you said, you're willing to work with our RP. That's something that we definitely need. We have talked about the different programs that's needed for our youth here in University Park. That is something that the village manager has mentioned working on next year. We do need stuff this year. So I do understand the residents' concerns where we didn't have any of our residents, the children participating in the program because there wasn't nothing here. That's something that we definitely need to make sure that in the future, when there are programs like that, that our residents and our children are being represented in our own community. That was it. Mrs. Greer, yes, as for committees, as of right now, I am not on a committee. I would love to be a part of the liaison for the Economic Development Committee. That's something I'm putting out to the mayor now.
Trying to get to the retreat so we can do it.
And we will work on all of those different things, but as for committees, I'm willing to support all of them. So not only will I be, might be a liaison, but I will be participating in a lot of them. Like Trustee Thompson has stated, we did go to the elected officials meeting with the South Suburban Mayors. And that was a very intuitive meeting where we learned different things about being elected officials. So it's nothing much to bring back to you all, but it's just stuff for us to know for ourselves. So I just wanted to give comments back to all the residents. It doesn't have to be each time, but I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge each and every one of you, and thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Trustee. We're going to go to the consent agenda. Is there any item on the consent agenda that the board would like to?
I just want to know, can I have my chance to speak?
Excuse me, guys. Please don't yell out, and we're gonna go on the agenda. If you look at the agenda, fireworks are one of the main things, one of the first things on here. So, my board members, is there anything that any trustee would like to have removed from the consent agenda?
I don't have anything, Mayor, and you're correct. When we do go through it, we just want to give Chief a little moment to explain, right? Since Ms. Trust brought it up.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We all live here, we don't. Okay, all right.
So
I did want that to be forward. I just wanted to have some conversation. We have not heard anything about the bid process, which is F2E.
F2E, you want that removed just for discussion?
Yes.
That's fire station 2.
It's the resolution accepting the recommendation of integral the bid to survey.
Mayor Rudess, I will, may I please, I do not mean to interrupt.
However, if this was set up where we could have more time and the trustees could talk and the audience could talk, we wouldn't have all this. I only had like 2 or 3 minutes. I got here maybe 2 minutes late. So I will leave. However, please have this change where everyone can speak. And I know you guys want to have the trustees to respond back to the audience. However, you need more time than 30 minutes. Now, what I have to say is very important to me. And I thought it may be important to some of you guys. So I will leave since I can't have my, and I do apologize for getting here 2 minutes late. And thank you for giving me my name to him.
Well, let me just continue on with the consent agenda. I just wanted to make sure that Manager Scott would please that with
Who's talking?
F2C, F2B and F2C, that those are with the changes that we talked about. So I would like for that, so I just want to make sure we pull F2B, F2C, and F2E for discussion, just so we can reiterate what the changes are.
Okey doke. So if there's no one else, we'll move on.
Let her speak.
No, that's okay.
So,
But I do think
everything
everything
on
time.
this consent
Listen
agenda.
to me, please. Just listen to me.
I
I
have any information.
Point of order, Mayor.
One second.
Yeah,
Just,
Trustee Thomas has the floor.
yes, we got action going on the board members regarding the agenda now.
I apologize.
And you know, maybe you can discuss something with the manager. If there's something that we can discuss with the manager, and then we'll move forward.
First, I want to apologize. This is not me. This is not my personality. But I am through this whole community, and you all need to get yourself together because it's a bunch of them. Good night.
All right. Go ahead. Well,
I just want to make sure you guys are on the same page.
And also for me,
but that's okay. So for the record, Madam Clerk, item F2B, item F2C, and item F2E are removed from the consent agenda for discussion afterwards. Is there a, Madam Clerk, roll call for item F2A, F2B? Is there a motion for to approve to approve the consent agenda as amended? Moved by Lewis, second by McFadden. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Both sides, Madam Clerk.
It's 2023-0.
That's okay. First, second, and third reading ordinance amending Village of University Park fireworks ordinance. Add language increasing fine, adding host liability. Chief, would you want to just have a brief discussion on that? Okay, wait, let the clerk finish.
F2D is a resolution. It's a F2D, it's a resolution approving 2023 CDBG capital improvement, demolition, and economic development. That's for Fire Station 2, Road 8. That resolution number is for 2023-21. F2F is the one establishing a memorandum of understanding between the village and the RTA for special financing district. That's resolution for 2023-23.
Okay. All right. Chief?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My wife say I talk too much, too loud. Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk, the board, department heads, Madam Manager, and citizens of University Park. Thank you for allowing me to talk about this matter about the fireworks. This was specifically brought up to deal with the fireworks. So what we did was we wanted to make sure that our fireworks ordinance had some teeth to it. Oftentimes we wrote people tickets and citations for fireworks. They didn't care about $50. They take the ticket and then go right back and continue lighting the fireworks. And so tonight we amended the language in two ways. One, we increased the fine to $750. I don't know about you, but I don't have $750 to spend on some for getting a ticket. And that's a minimum fine of $750, up to $2,000 fine per incident or subject to arrest, and we will seize your fireworks. The other one is we've added language with the host. Oftentimes we know they're sending little kids outside to pop the fireworks, everybody running the house. We can't determine who actually lit the fireworks, but maybe we can figure out the house that it came from. This gives us some teeth to go after the host or the homeowner or the renter or the adult for that. The $750 is meant to change behavior. It's meant to be a deterrent. Hopefully the more faint of heart will forego lighting fireworks, which only leaves the ones that are determined to light those fireworks. So we're going to make it our duty to go after those people that are lighting fireworks that are disturbing people. As the mayor has stated, fireworks harms our animals, our cats, our dogs, our veterans, and our persons with behavioral or mental health challenges, our elderly, and those people that just don't want to hear all that kind of noise and racket at night. We're going to have a zero tolerance policy. If we're able to determine the house or determine the person, we will write the citation. We're not cutting them any breaks. They're going to get the $750 ticket, at least $750 ticket. And to make sure everyone is aware of this, we've purchased a number of these signs. We got them at a pretty good deal, didn't cost very much. And we're going to place these signs throughout the village. I believe these signs are rather self-explanatory, easy to understand. No fireworks in the village of University Park, up to a minimum $750 fine or arrest, and illegal fireworks subject to seizure by the police. We're going to place these around the village. There should not be anyone that can say they didn't know anything about it, so they won't be any surprises. And hopefully it dampens those people that are lighting fireworks. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chief. All right. Trustee,
Does that include 4th of July too?
Yeah, this is everything. This is year round. This is year round. Okay, you know, we don't want any of that stuff. I don't know if they want me to answer questions. If you want, I can wait till after we talk. Okay?
I can ask. What other methods are you using to get that message out? I was putting that on the marquee.
Yes, it's going to be on the marquee. It's going to be on social media, word of mouth. We're going to be passing out flyers, putting them in the businesses, and any other entity that wishes to display our flyers. These have to be, of course, on the public way. You know, and then also, you know, we want word of mouth. We want you to tell your neighbors, listen, it's going to be $750. We want to change it. As soon as they done voting.
it's passed already, immediately, start now.
All right.
Start now.
So we, you know, and we need, and if I can say this, we need your help. When you call, only thing we ask is when you call, because you know what happens, they'll run out, they'll light the fireworks, run back in the house because they know somebody's going to call, we're going to be there. And our challenge is finding the house or the individuals. When you call, tell us the address. Hey, they ran up in this house or they ran up in that apartment. Tell us, okay? You know, you'll remain anonymous. We won't give them your information, but that helps us go after the people that are actually doing this stuff. Rather than us playing whack-a-mole, we get there, the stuff, you know, they're gone. We see what's left. We leave, they come back out.
Okay, so I'll pass that along to your neighbors and your loved ones. Be as descriptive as possible. Give us as much information as possible so we can get those people that are out here disturbing the public.
Hey, Chief, would you be open to having an anonymous tip line where residents can call in and feel safe?
Yes.
Okay,
We always want information.
all right.
I just want to make a comment on the fireworks. I think it's maybe last weekend or last week, Sullivan Lane. My daughter had called me. She said, "What do I do?" We had just had to chat with you the day before. And I said, well, she said, "Just call the non-emergency number." She said, "Well, what's that?" So we were trying to find that. In the meantime, she said, "Never mind. 3 cars have just shown up." And they knew exactly where her house was. So it was quick response. I mean, it was less than 3 minutes. You all were out there, especially on Sullivan Lane in that court over there.
And the reason why I'm glad you brought up Sullivan Lane, I'm not trying to extend the beat. I do apologize. But there's a house on Sullivan Lane that caught fire because of fireworks. So it's not just a matter of disturbing people. It can cause people real harm and damage. Whether, you say, well, I got insurance. Well, who wants to go through those years of getting an insurance company to rebuild your house?
You avoid your insurance with fireworks.
So thank you all, and I appreciate your support and your help.
And you can also find information on our village website, Facebook page, and TV4. And just pass the word. We all like fireworks, but we don't want to have amateurs out there doing it in our community. Thanks so much, Chief. Okay, item F2B, Trustee Donna, first, second, and third reading, an ordinance authorizing and approving a long-term lease agreement for units 70 and 80 between the Village of University Park and United Dental Services Corporation. There's some conversations we want to have. First, I have a motion. Moved by Lewis. Second by Thompson and McFadden. Okay, Trustee. Okay, we'll add them both in. As well.
And I just wanted we had tabled it last meeting in order to get information about the square footage and at what rate and other information. And Manager Scott has worked with that, so I would like to leave it up to Scott to kind of give us an update on.
So I reviewed the 2 lease agreements that were previously done in 2017. It's for units 70 and 80. There were a lot of things in here that were materially incorrect as it relates to the square footage. It had $3.50 a square foot. We ended up, actually, after I reviewed it, that was incorrect. It actually should be closer to $4.50 per square foot. Also, the square footage was incorrect. So Matt Stacy went over, took his, what do you call that, Matt? The machine, the one tape measure. And it's actually, so those units are 2,970 square feet. It should actually be $4.50. We divide that by 12. So in speaking with Mr. Crittenden, actually the amount that's here for the beginning of the lease, that's currently what he's paying now. Per the lease agreement, it is automatically extended. So the amounts that I have for unit 70 and 80, they're the same amount. It's 7 feet difference. So I believe it's 7 feet separating the 2. It's $1,188. It would go up 3% every year as requested by the board. The ending balance would be for 2026. He would be paying $1,260.35. That would be for each one of those units individually. Then on to 38 and 40, if you do the same math with $4.50 per square foot, at the $450 rate, he's actually paying a little bit more than what he should be paying if we were to go by the amount for units in 70 and 80. However, he agreed to just go along with that because he just doesn't want to go back and forth with this lease any longer. So the total for those 2 would be $900 a month. This was already passed by the board, units 38 and 40. The discrepancy comes into play because he wanted to have his leases run concurrent. So meaning he wanted them to all start and stop at the same time, so he wouldn't have any issue with payment, figuring out when to pay. If he were to move ever, then, it would end at the same time. So collectively, he would be paying $2,376. He would be paying $3,276 in total for all 4 units.
Questions, anyone?
No, I don't have a, thank you, United Staff, for, looking into that and getting that information to us. I'm fine with it based off of the square footage, the increase of from 350 to 450, and then also added in that 3% increase every year.
Okay. So we got a motion and a second. Roll call, Madam Clerk. This will be items F2B and items F2C. Okay, so I need to make a motion for item. Okay, I do the roll call F2B.
Trustee Lewis, both sides. Trustee McFadden, both sides. Trustee Faulkner, both sides. Trustee Thompson, both sides. Trustee Williams, both sides. I'm sorry. Trustee Williams, both sides. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor Trustee.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk.
That's ordinance. 2023-10.
Okay, item F2C, first, second, and third reading, and ordinance authorizing and approving a long-term lease agreement for units 3840 between the Village of University Park and United Dental Resources Corporation. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis, second by Trustee Donna. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis, both sides. Trustee McFadden, both sides. Trustee Faulkner, both sides. Trustee Thompson, both sides. Trustee Williams, both sides. Trustee Brooks,
Both sides.
Mayor.
Vote aye, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that's ordinance 2023-.
Okay, thank you so much, Madam Clerk. Item F2E, a resolution accepting the recommendation of the Ontario and awarding the bid to Service Construction for fire station driveway replacement in the amount of $201,900. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis. Second by McFadden. Trustee Butcher.
Yes.
I know, Trustee Thompson, I had a question about the fees. I had a question about the bid process. So it's important to me that we have 3 bids so we can make the best use of the money. So does we have to do this project?
No, we did not. We had previously had a bid opening. There was an issue and the clerk wasn't present and the deputy clerk wasn't available, so we had to rebid it. I spoke with counsel and legally we had to rebid it. We rebid it and we did not get any. So we put it out again and we received only 1 bid.
So then, you only have 1 bid, how does that satisfy?
If we put it out and we don't get any bids, yes, we did. And I have those dates. We had the bid opening and we put it out the first time and we didn't actually have the opening. The other 2 times we did have, and we did not receive any. The second, the third time, we only got 1 for each.
Where was it posted?
It was posted on our website. David Jenkins posted it for us. And we did get inquiries, but we did not get all the bids, but we got several inquiries.
Do we have a requirement that bids be posted in real estate?
They were posted. Yes, every time they're published, and we do have those publishing receipts.
Madam Clerk, just for the record, what papers were those bids posted in? If you don't mind.
Daily Stop Time.
All right, thank you very much, Madam Clerk.
That's the only paper that is.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? No. All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Both sides. Trustee Thompson.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Both sides, Madam Clerk. Yeah,
That's a resolution for 2023-22.
all right, thank you. New business. I give you a second, Madam Clerk. Second up. All right. Item F3A, first, second, and
It was part of the
consent agenda. It was part of the consent already. Yes, yes, ma'am. All right. Got it? All right. Item F3A, first, second, and third reading. Ordinance amending chapter 804-10 of Village Code relating to electric vehicle charging stations and vending machines. Is there a motion? Moved by Trustee Fett, second by Trustee Thompson. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee. I'm gonna start. Trustee Bowden. Trustee Burke.
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson. Trustee Bowden. Both sides. Trustee McFadden. Both sides. Trustee Bowden. Both sides. Mayor Rivera.
Both sides, Madam Clerk.
Mr. Mayor, that's ordinance 2023-12.
All right, thank you. Item F3B, a resolution authorizing the purchase of used street sweeper for the Department of Public Works. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis. Second by McFadden.
Question.
All right, go ahead, Trustee Brooks, then Trustee Folger, then.
I was doing it for my colleague. She got only one arm, so my mouth is loud enough.
So are we still on the same price that we had before? So what happened to, just hiring a service to come in and sweep the streets for those 3 months?
Called them 3 times and they haven't returned my phone call.
So that's the only place that has a street sweeper?
No, I did 2 other ones, one from Indiana, one from Wisconsin. They're a sister company.
So what I'm trying to say is, would it be more cost efficient for us to contract that out? It's only for a few months. It's only for a few months, so I don't understand why we have to pay all this money for a street sweeper that's only guaranteed for 90 days.
It's not guaranteed for 90 days.
I mean, if anything goes wrong with the 90 days.
Right.
And then we can buy an extended warranty. That does not sound like good money sense to me. And also, when I attended the House of Urban Mayors and Managers training the other day, they have shared resources. So some other villages, I'm sure, are not paying this kind of money for a used street sweeper. I just have a concern with that.
The 2 companies that I use by the surrounding communities, all are standard equipment or EJ equipment. I called a couple of the other ones out in Indiana, and there was one in Wisconsin, which they set up the price now. So, but majority of the communities around here use standard equipment.
But I mean, they're buying it. Can you pay a service and come and sweep the streets?
You guys can, yeah, whatever you guys would like. You can pay a service, but they're not gonna come out when, they set a route. They come out and say, okay, we'll be out this day, in this month, or this week, in the 3rd week. And that's when they come out. If we have stuff where trees come down, there's an accident, we need a sweeper out there. That's an extra charge for them to come out.
I would like to have more information about that, to see if it would be more cost effective.
Okay, no problem.
Thank you.
Any other trustee?
Same thing like with Trustee Thompson, and I know you had mentioned it last. Wanted to see what for a service to come out and do the street sweeping just for this season, especially since, even at Public Works, as you've seen, the whole salt house has fallen apart. So that's a new cost, that's a new expense that. And I think that's something that is gonna be more priority. And maybe we can just get the service for the street sweeper to come in to do it instead of purchasing a brand new, a used one for right now. And put that on down the list for a capital, as a project for next year, that we know we're gonna have to work on looking at, but some of these things that just came up, like I said, over there in Public Works with the whole salt house. That's a new expense that we're gonna have to incur over in Public Works.
All right, Trustee Williams.
I agree. I think it's too costly for something that we don't have a guarantee. The warranty is limited. And I think we need to table this for further discussion so we can find out more information.
Motion to table, Mayor.
All right, is there a second? Yeah, roll call, Madam Clerk.
I make a motion to table the street sweeper.
All right. Then- All right, roll call, Madam Clerk. Yes, ma'am. Item F3B, yes, ma'am. Under new business. Trustee Thompson. No, make the motion. Yeah, and McFadden.
Just one of them.
Just one of them. Thompson. No. Yeah. You got it, Madam Clerk? Oh, all right. Item F. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Roll call on the table.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden. Trustee Fulcher. Trustee Thompson. Trustee Williams. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor.
Both sides, Madam Clerk. All right, item F3C. A resolution accepting the recommendation of the Ontario Group and awarding the bid for Regal Farm revitalization to seek design at a cost of $500,000 to $1 million. Is there a motion? Moved by McFadden, second by Lewis. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Madam, Trustee Fulcher, go ahead.
So this resolution would entail awarding the bid for Regal Farm revitalization to seek design. What could Village Manager Scott, could you please reiterate what that is all about? This for the design, it's like, we really haven't decided, from my understanding, it wasn't decided exactly what was going to be there, so what are they deciding? What is?
No, they are revitalizing the actual structural, the historical part of Regal Farm. They are gonna be knocking down, I think it was a coop or it was just some makeshift barn. That's gonna be knocked down, but it's for the structural design engineering phase. And that's what this is for. We had $2 million that is going to be given to us up front for this, for the work to begin. But this is just for the structural design and engineering phase of it.
So is that a grant that's paying for this?
Yes, it's the OSLAD grant.
And that was the one for how much?
I believe it's 656, yeah, somewhere around there, 630. I'll get you the exact amount, but it's roughly between 630, 650.
But it's for the design, right?
No,
not
it's
for
towards the
work.
entire Regal Farm, but that and also includes the structural design and engineering phase, which is the initial phase.
So how much is it for the design part? The estimate, because I just think go ahead.
Okay, I'll get you the exact breakdown. I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but I can get that for you.
Because if the grant is for 600 and something thousand, we don't want to spend 200,000 on it, on a design. I don't know what needs to be done, but that's money that I feel that could be used for the actual structure and the actual place of River Farm, instead of it all going to someone designing what we're gonna do.
And we are applying for additional grants and funding. So this is not the end of the funding. We're actually applying for another $1 million.
Trustee, Thompson, okay.
And let me add this, there's phases to it, because there's also, there's gonna be upgrades to the grounds surrounding the area, trail walk, and that does not include this funding. So a lot of times when communities don't have funding, they apply for grants in phases. And once you get these initial grants and you carry that out, they will then follow up with additional funding.
Right, which I definitely understand, it's just, we just wouldn't want to use majority of the grant for just design. That we will hope that it's being used to actually renovate and repair the facilities there and get it back going, instead of it, half of it is a contractor to design what they're gonna do. That's my saying.
And let me be clear, this is not gonna cost $700,000, it's gonna be a lot more than that. So this is just the beginning phases, but I will give you the breakdown, the initial breakdown.
Okay. Trustee,
So, Mr. Scott, who's gonna do the design?
Seek Design, and that's who actually bid on the project. And we only had once again, we only had one person that came out for the bid.
That's a big gap, 500,000 to $1 million. And then that does not even include the construction. So that can, I'm looking at, we just did one room at the library, and that was $1 million. So I'm looking at probably like $2 million, $2 million.
It may be, but I think it's gonna be a little less than that. It doesn't have as many components as per se, a part of the library, because it's a barn, but it is gonna be finished. But like I said, I will give you that, and I'll give you the other grant funding that we're applying for.
Also, how will we get the grant funding when most grants require you to be up to date with your audit, have your budget and all of that?
So you have to be, specifically, you have to be up to date with your data. You have to be up to date with your SAM.gov. We are compliant. We explained to the state, they are aware. We are in good standing with our MFT. I actually got a written email because I did request that as proof. Because we cleared up all of our MFT resolutions that we had passed through the board. But right now we're in good standing. They do understand that with a lot of these audits, a lot of communities have to catch up on the back end with paperwork, receipts, things like that. We are in the process of marking up. Lauren and I are going through the audit now, making comments and going back and forth with the auditors to get that 2020 closed up. But we are ending, and we are able to receive grants. And if we weren't, they would notify us. And we actually would not even be able to accept the grants, or we would not be able to turn in the subrecipient agreement. So we are in good standing. If we weren't, we would not even be able to get the, the lead pipe replacement grant and those things, because Will County, they do check those things.
Yeah, oh, no, I was just gonna say, to piggyback that, I know that in the past we have heard negative of what we did not have. And I did have a chance to see with my own eyes. We are in compliance. MFTs, they were locked up at 1.67 years ago. So I don't remember what it was, maybe last week before, I don't know. I'm having my moments, so I can't remember no more, but Ms. Scott showed me every single thing. Y'all get the GANATs and all that, TANATs, they all are complete, and I guess it's she showed me it was like in the green.
Yes, it's
everything was in the green.
If you go on the GATA portal, it's all in the green, and if it wasn't, it would have red.
Right. So I just want to give my point that I did see, which, yeah, we're looking better. Because we can do better, but we're looking better.
Trustee, Gina?
I just wanted to know about, did you ever come across that original survey of the farm? that, I think it was a survey or something that was supposed to have been gotten by the Terrell Group or something. And also the money that's being dispersed, wasn't it being dispersed in part, 600,000? Kind of like the way the Clorox thing worked, that do so much and then it would get approved for another phase? Or was this all given to us at one time?
It's not all at once, and it's from the Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity. I spoke with Kate, and we had to provide a timeline and scope, and you don't get the money up front, you get it once the work is completed, but we were funded, originally told that we would get the 200,000. The state is really backlogged, so, but we are getting that money released immediately, so we don't have to wait for it. Because sometimes you'll end up waiting months for that money or a year.
Well, is this different from the 600,000 that, I think was Jimmy Bartino and them were giving us money for the farm? Is this?
So there's things that are, they're proposed through bills, through legislative bills. When you ask for things, but because you ask for them doesn't mean you're gonna, get them. It's kind of like, almost like a wish list that you send to legislators. And they bring it down, and they go down to Springfield and they advocate on behalf of the constituents. This is different. This is an actual grant that has to be filled out. And it's actually really thick. I had nothing to do with that grant. When I came on board, that grant was already had by the village. I'm just working to execute the grant in a project management capacity. And I have to do the back end quarterly reporting that comes along with it. And they make sure that the money is expended as it should, and you have to provide receipts and all that. But the grant was actually about this thick. And I do have a copy of that grant, but it actually had to be applied for the specific grant.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
So I think I asked this before, with Trustee Williams. If this is different, can we use the one that, I think it was Trustee Jenkins Bell that she was talking about? Could we also use it? So it's almost like one or the other? Is that how it works?
So I'm not aware that we ever received that.
Oh.
And I'm just being honest.
Right.
I'm not aware of that. So when I came along, this grant had already been written. I had nothing to do with it. And I don't know anything about us getting that money through legislation.
Right.
Because if it was, you would actually be able to find it as a line item on that budget.
Okay.
And you can actually look that up. This actually was a grant that was applied for.
All right, thank you.
All right, roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee McFadden. Trustee Bolger. Trustee Williams.
Vote aye. 24. Thank you. Before we, item F3D, a resolution accepting the recommendation of the Antero Group and awarding the bid for Pine Lake dock replacement project to Blue Ridge Docks in the amount of $98,000 to $51,859.93 as one. Are there any questions regarding this Pine Lake project before we go and ask for a motion? You gotta put it on the floor now. All right. Is there a motion? Moved by Lewis. Second by Trustee Fulcher. Trustee.
Same question about the rules. So this was
Originally, the first time we did receive multiple bids, I still have the bids in my office. But per law, we had to rebid them. And we had this, I believe, yes, this is the one that came from Blue Ridge Docks. So the money, the grant money that we received from this came from the unmet needs pillar portion, which is money that you get to spend on things such as this, or because of the fact that we don't have a park district. So, the option is, we received almost 42,000, it's 41,000 and some change, I don't have the exact amount. But we have the option to get one dock done at the amount of 51,000. Or we can pay two, but that means we have to come up with the remaining money. Right now, I decided to just do one dock, because that way we don't have to come up with the additional money. We are applying for another grant that would cover that additional dock. We're applying for the grant, it's a park grant. Not only would it be for the second dock, it would also be for a gazebo and some seating and bathrooms. So we'll see how much money we get for that, but the ask is to actually complete Pine Lake. But because we only got 41 and some change, I thought it would be a good decision to start with the first dock and work on the second grant, so that it wouldn't have to come out of our pocket.
Madam Chair, those docks are going to be ADA accessible, correct?
Yes, they are. That was one of the scope of work. That's one of the things that was put on there, that it had to be ADA compliant.
All right. Any other questions?
Well, we only have money for one. If we only have money for one, sort of, we have to fill in the blank for that, why would we be talking about two? Because we don't know if we're gonna get that.
Right, so we
have a
did.
lot of other stuff to do.
Yes, so we did put out the RFP for 1 and 2, just as an option, just to know what the cost would be. Because we had no idea what the RFP was gonna come back with. So I didn't wanna put in for 1, and it came in at 35, and I'm like, maybe we could have done 2 dots. So that's why we put out for 1 and 2. I wanted prices for both, so that we can see what the prices would be.
Anybody else? Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden. Trustee Bolger. Trustee Thompson. Trustee Williams. Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Mayor.
Votes aye.
Mr. Mayor. That's resolution 4/2023-25.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. Item F3E, appointments to the Mayor's Office of Special Events, Jasmine Holiday, Dolores Thompson, and Brian Robinson to the Veterans Affairs Committee. Is there a motion? Moved by Brooks, second by McFadden. Roll call, Madam Clerk. Make the motion. Trustee Brooks. And the second was McFadden.
Trustee Lewis. Trustee McFadden. Trustee Bolger. Trustee Thompson. Trustee Williams.
Both sides.
Votes aye. Yes, Madam Clerk. All right. I need this. All right. Here we go, guys. Attached for your approval is a listing of general operating expenses for the Village of University Park that occurred on the 29th of March 2023 through the 27th of June 2023. General Fund, 1,270,243.92. Road and Bridge, 35,701.07. Town Center Fund, 209,05.86. Capital Project Fund, 86,604.58. Motor Fuel Tax Fund, 44,389.75. Chapter 5, 1,552.50. The Payroll Fund, 12,214.88. With a grand total of 1,659,712.56. Is there a motion? Move by. Dilworth Fulcher, second by Trustee Lewis. Questions? Trustee Brooks?
Yep. Okay. So I know this is the first set of bills that the trustees will be paying since the election. Right. I want to make a comment that at this point, I am proud to have, actually, all the trustees are watching the money. Each and every one of us is having a conversation with the village manager to the point that sometimes Ms. Scott is hanging up with one trustee and getting on the phone with another one. So my vote no is gonna start coming to a difference now. It's more of, if I'm gonna vote no if I mean that there's no reason to pay bills. But at this point, I just want the public to know that since the election, that your 3 new members that came to the board have been watching the money to the point that I am very proud of, and I take my hat off to Fulcher. Say it right. I had practice first. Fulcher, Thompson, and Williams. So, but tonight, actually, it's 2 things. The first one, if we can go to, and I want everybody to know that I know in the past I have said is that if we see anything over $1 million, that we're not paying the bills correctly, but let's remember that this is from March 29th to June 27th. So let's remember that. Ms. Scott, I know we had spoke about it, and then I know it may pop out in case some trustees just want to go. I'll just pick out that first check. It was 110,311, and I know that we have paid Arturo Group like maybe 6-7 times throughout this bill's payable. Like one is for 27,000, another one is for 12,000, another one was like for 63,000. 22,000, 20,000, and I think if we can just tell the general public what that project is, because they don't have that project listed.
So some of the things are phase 1 engineering.
Phase 1 engineering of Abbott and Amherst reconstruction project, advanced MFT approvals and audit requests, advanced strategy planning and funding for ICC railroad crossing improvement projects, supported advancement of villages TOD plan, development and ordinance language for CMAP, completion and collaboration with EV readiness program, the metro station project, fire station number 2 rehabilitation project, Veterans Memorial Garden, and where's the other one? There was something else here. Supported discussions, area landowners regarding, what is this, coordination support for the RTA and our metro reconstruction.
Thank you. And that was, of course, naturally, we already know what we're doing with CHW Group. But I do want to address something that was mentioned at the last budget meeting, and actually, all 3 new trustees have mentioned this. And I'll go to the check reference, and this comes from the check registry report, May 3rd, 2023, page 1. When you go down to the expenses of one of the commissioners, it is 110124. Mr. Ed Bradley. Mr. Ed Bradley, in training to be a commissioner, Ed Bradley chose to be the police chief. He was voted down. He had sent in a resignation letter. In fact, it went through the whole department heads, and it went to the trustees. It was failed. I'm trying to figure out legally, when did he come back to the Police and Fire Commission? Because on top of it, I noticed when I was in Village Hall, his certificate was loosely sitting on someone's desk. And it said he was already trained for module 6. So that means that Mr. Bradley has been in training, even though he was voted down. You remember, let's go back. Chief Wilson was released. He resigned as the chairman of the Police and Fire Commission. Then all of a sudden, he's already, listen, the firefighters and the police officers, there's no bodies even coming to them. And I've been watching what's been going on, but I had not seen that we've been paying for Mr. Bradley. So I don't know where it came, it must have slipped or it passed my eyes or other things were too big for me to catch. But this was actually on the May 25th when we asked bills payable. It was on that check registry. But I want to know if we're going to be paying for Ed Bradley, we need our police officers on the street. We need our firefighters in the firehouse. And he's not doing his job. If we want to start, we can start where I'm seeing background checks. Background checks for what? Where's the list? If Chief Bradley or whatever he want to call himself when he was here, Commissioner Bradley, there's actually 2 commissioners, well, 3 commissioners fully certified in this village, Commissioner Grimm, myself, and Young. And we're not going to keep paying for somebody who wanted to be the police chief, and because it didn't work out for him, he piled around, and then all of a sudden, somebody sticks him and say, well, you're still a commissioner. To be honest, Roosevelt Martin should be the commissioner, the chair of the Police and Fire Commission, or mayor, you may have to appoint somebody else, because the testing list has expired. No meetings are being posted. If there's an executive session and they want to go and do it in a conference room, you have to have it where the public is accessible. When I was chairman of the Police and Fire Commission, the village manager gave me the key and we had it at Village Hall, but I left the door open. So anybody can walk in. They keep talking about firefighters. I heard someone mention, and there's no black firefighters. Every time Trustee Brooks was a chairman of the Police Fire Commission, Commissioner Gritte, we had at least 10 blacks out there in the audience, 60 people. Then when it came to police officers, we're hurting. The commission job is to hire civil service police officers. After that, part-time police officers belong to Chief Mitchell. Period. So tonight, we're about to pay for somebody who's getting a free lesson, a free weekend. Because I tell you, you have a good time at the Police and Fire Commission. You learn something, but you eat for free, you get a hotel, we don't pay for all of this. So you don't need to be pulling it because I just seen module 6 on somebody's desk. So, Ms. Scott, I wasn't being nosy up at Village Hall, but someone was being, they were careless. And Trustee Brooks should have been able to see it. And I just so happened, so I'm not gonna say who it was, I seen it on their desk, but it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there. And now that I know he got module 6, I thought Roosevelt Martin was doing the job. So tonight I'm conflicted. We can't take this check back because Police and Fire Commission Association got paid. So I got a whole list of things. If you want firefighters, how about testing when Naperville is not testing and all these other big towns? Stop testing. When I went in there, I was embarrassed. We only had 2 black men. I don't even know if there was fire police sitting up there in the fire bay taking a test. Damn. That was embarrassing. That's the worst ever for a commission. Now, I can't be a liaison to that commission, but I give him some good damn advice. Or you can ask Ms. Greer, ex-Commissioner Young. We still hold those titles. Clerk Jones said, she said, why do you want to be a trustee? You doing an excellent job. as commissioner.
Yes.
Now it's making me wonder. Because at the end of the day, the police, those two gentlemen are hurting the staff, and we all paying this bill. We paying these overtime. That's why I'm taking this, stretching this out for bills payable. Because we shouldn't be paying for somebody who's not a commissioner, but yet he's walking around here like a commissioner. We cannot keep doing that. So, however we gonna do it, consult with whoever, I'm not trying to embarrass nobody tonight, but I'm telling you, this ain't gonna keep happening. It can't keep happening. Because I'm gonna give you an example, and then I'm gonna yield my time. There's a computer simulator. Some of us are young enough that we played Sim City or City Skylight. Whatever you don't have, if you have too much of a population, but not enough police or fire, what usually happens? The community what? Falls. There's no way Chief Mitchell should be running around with 8 police officers. That man in the back probably, I don't even want to know, he worked 12 hours. He probably worked more than this, probably 16, just to be in here on security. When I left, Chief Chelios had at least a minimum, what was it, 18, 19 firefighters. And now he only picking from at least 11 under that. So you costing over $250,000 to $500,000 in overtime. And so that means that when the bills payable come, when you want to see me vote no, it's not because I didn't see the money in the bank, it's because we making mistakes. So I'm bringing that to attention tonight that yeah, we just paid $335, and then he got his little fee to travel. Then we pay for the hotel, like if it's out in up north, Oak Brook, he got a damn good time up there. You ought to see the shower. You sit there with the bedroom, with a seat with a nice little wall. It's a nice little getaway. You think you're in Vegas. So I know we done paid everything. So it's time for a change. Let's get this police and fire commission together. Because I just named a list of things. And if you're the chairman of the police and fire commission, I'm not paying for a damn thing. No. So I yield my time on that. Can't pull the check because it's already basically paid.
Wait a minute, too little, too late. You have all of those new police and fire commissioners, it's just totally shambles. Everybody on there are new people. It should not have ever happened. I gave my resignation. Hey, I might be a police and fire commissioner already. No one ever accepted it. I'm thinking maybe I am still a
Mrs. Thank you, Mrs.
I yield my time, man.
Trustee Wade.
Okay, I had some concerns about the checks that were given to, that we have on here for Nina Bank. We have check 110-349, $15,721. That was dated June 22nd. Another one June 5th, 110-215, $8,690. Another one back from April 110-075, $11,455. Now, I was under the impression, from what I understood, she's monitoring the Aqua account and that she was being paid $5,000 a month. This don't sound like $5,000. This is a lot of money. And if anybody should be lobbying, it should be her, because she's getting more than enough pay to do it. We don't never hear from her. We don't get any reports. Maybe Trustee Lewis hears from her, but the rest of us don't. And I just want to know why all these amounts. It's even more. Wow. So this is entirely too much money to be given to someone. The water's still bad. That's not her fault. But we're not getting any updates, any reports. No one knows what's going on with us. We're still going to get our water. It's heavy. Seniors are having problems getting it in their homes. It's too much. And we're giving too much to hear too little, or really to hear nothing. So I just want to know why all this money is being dispersed to her.
Cause we got it like that.
Who's gonna answer?
Right. Well, before you answer, I'm gonna bring up the same thing with Nina Fane. It shows that she's getting $395 an hour. That is absolutely outrageous.
Ow.
No, in her report, that's what it's stating. That's where I got the information from. In the report, in the invoice, it states $395 an hour, which is making it where she's getting paid a whole lot more than just the 5,000. Whatever it is, I have not heard a report. I have not seen a report. It's the same as Trustee Williams was saying. Something has to get with that. I understand she might have did the work and that's what they have agreed, but we have to definitely look over that contract. If that's what she's getting paid, $395 an hour.
Okay, I will review that and I'll also gather the bills from the past several months and look at that as well. But I do know that there's something, they're getting ready for some testimony and different things from the Attorney General. So I know she has been doing some extra work, but I will look at that and review it and I'll bring a report back to the board. And I'll pull all of her bills from the past for this year.
And it's based off of the work that she does. Is that something that our current attorneys can do? Because we have two. I understand it's different, but they also have different people within their office that can handle situations like this. That's something that we can look at, because we already have two that's working on the village's business. If there's another person within their firm that can do it, we might need to look at that instead of paying somebody almost $400 an hour.
Okay, Trustee, I don't want to give a definitive answer right now.
Right.
But I will consider what you said and I'm going to pull the bills and you and I can have discussion.
I have several questions. First, I just want to make the statement that with these bills payables, this is over, I think it's 4 or 5 months. 4 months of bills payable. We received over 1,000 pieces of invoices, pages of invoices to look at yesterday. Okay, so yesterday is not acceptable. This is something that I did talk to Village Manager Scott. He said that I was gonna bring up, that we need to start receiving our packets by Thursday or Friday. We cannot look at stuff like this. This doesn't make any sense for us to have to review this information in such short time period. We did not receive our packet until Sunday. We didn't receive the invoices until yesterday, which consists of over 1,000 pages. There's no way anybody have time to really review this information. But I actually did take all day today and look over everything. So I just wanted to make that statement, and that's the request as well, which we already talked about it. She's aware of it, but I told her that I was gonna make that statement here, that we need to start receiving all of our packet information by the latest of Friday. The day that the agenda goes out, that's when we need to receive our information. For the bills payable, the first thing now, and so I'm not going off to check them, I'm going off the invoices. So that's what I gotta go by. I didn't have time to connect those dots. But the first one is with Ernestine. Her insurance that she was receiving, because she received her insurance, based off of it, it was supposed to be for 6 months. That was on the invoice. That was already paid off. It was like a duplicate. It was 6 payments, which started 11/10, which should have ended. But then I still see there's additional payments that was out there. So could you please look at those, because I say to pull that one until we get information. I don't know what the check number is, but.
Can you repeat the amount, Trustee?
The insurance amount was $771.72, April 10th. But on page 3, PO number is 0073456. It already shows 6 payments that was already a part of that. So it's looking like it's doing duplicate of 2. So we want to make sure we take out those additional duplicates of payments because it's already put in there twice. The next one would be for question about Palmer Park Playground donation. Is it a donation or are we paying for it? I'm confused why I say donation. Right, it says donation, but we have to pay for, I don't know, so why is it a donation, Ms. Scott?
I was told it was a donation, so I will look into that.
Okay, so we shouldn't be paying for it if it's a donation. So that's another one that I would like taken off. Not have it. Like I said, I didn't have that. Question, for Chief Chelios, you had uniform allowance. It was for you all's group, y'all get a $750 allowance. For two of you all, it was more. Is it because you all uniform cost a little more, or you have other things that's cheap? Because yours is more $1,000.
Firefighters and lieutenants receive $750 per year, according to their union contract. Ever since I've been either a deputy chief or fire chief, it's been $1,000 per department head.
Okay, that's what I wanted to make sure. So for Richardson, you is $1,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
The easiest way to look at it is we are 9 to 5 every day. We're in uniform. The line staff is in uniform, barring overtime every third day, they don't wear them as much.
Okay, another one is with Chicago Tire. I see the invoices, but in the future, we can see for what car and for which department, because you just have Chicago Tire with all these tires, and we don't know which department it consists of or for which car. So we would like to have that be identified.
Okay, and I'll get you the list of the municipal vehicles for that.
Thank you. Next, we have CHW. And we have talked about this. Manager Scott, and I said I was going to bring it up, that based off of CHW contract, they're supposed to be paying for, we give them the amount every month to take care of all of the maintenance expenses and everything that happens at the golf course. That is not what's happening, because they're potentially sending us bills for us to pay for things that they should be taking care of, which is the pest control, lights, tablecloths that they have on here, the gas, anything. I'm seeing all these invoices that CHW should be paying for, but they're in here. So we did go over that, Manager Scott, right?
Yes.
And we went over the contract and it states that these are things that they're supposed to be paying for, but the village has been, they've been sending in invoices for us to pay. So based off of that, there's no way that I would approve any of those, because we need to separate from all of these different sections, which is aqua water, the utilities, the pest control, the gas, all of these things need to be, those bills specifically for the golf course should be excluded from their management fee. Not management fee, from their monthly allowances. I think it's, what is that? 40,000.
Yeah, it's roughly 42.
40 something thousand. So for that, they should not be receiving the 40 something thousand if they're asking us to pay for stuff that they should be using that money for. So until we can see the difference, I would say for that as well. Another thing that CHW had 2 events, the Mother's Day brunch and the swearing in. We have 2 invoices for, which says the Mother's Day brunch, which is they provided the food. Who is the Chuck Wagon? Who is Chuck Wagon for? Okay. Right, so Chuck Wagon catering for who? Because the person that they was catering for, it was whited out.
The person that they were catering for, no, that was definitely for the Mother's Day brunch.
Okay, so if it was for the Mother's Day brunch, for both Chuck Wagon, it was 2 events, Mother's Day and for the, I guess, the swearing in too, I don't know.
Yes.
Okay, because on the invoice, it shows that it was blocked out.
Okay, I don't know why, because I can definitely attest to the fact that it was Chuck Wagon.
Okay, but in CHW events on their invoice, it's saying that they're paying for food as well. So that's double payment. So which one is doing the paying?
So it's not a double payment, so they paid, but we had to give them a check for it. Because of the way that things are set up there, they do not allow food on the premises to be brought in from another vendor. But because of the pricing, what we were trying to do, I had conversation with Mrs. Coffey and I asked her to make concessions for the village, and she agreed.
Okay, because on one of their invoices, it says catering for $900. And the catering consists of the food.
So that was included in the food. So basically how it goes is for CHW management, they have a rule that they do not allow people to bring in food from the outside. I did ask her, would she make a concession and allow us to bring the food in just for the effects of saving money and whatnot? And she agreed to do that. So she gave the check to them to pay for it, but we had to pay her for the food.
So she receiving $1,500.
I'll give you the complete breakdown. It sounds confusing, but what it is we basically had to circumvent because she does not allow food to come in. But I can give you all those receipts. Chuck Wagon, we specifically gave them the money direct for the swearing in. But for the other amount, I have the complete breakdown of what she charged us, and then she also put on top the food.
Okay, because that's PO invoice number PO 000744048. That's for $1,500 and it says $900 for catering. So if you already paid for the food, then it shouldn't be a part included into this $1,500.
Yes, that's correct.
So that should be taken out as well, but in general, all of the CHW stuff needs to be pulled because we need to accept their management fee. Their management fee is their management fee of $7,000. I think that's what they're supposed to get based off of their contract. So I wouldn't pull that, but the rest of it, I say it should be pulled because they're sending in double. So we already given them the money up front, but then they're sending us the bill for the same thing. So it shouldn't be that way.
And look, I just wanted to add clear because it just hit me, we did order additional food for the event because we ended up going over the list. We originally, I think, had it for only 90 people, and people who attended know it was over 100. We ended up having to order, I have it all written down, but we ended up ordering extra food. It did just hit me, but I am being honest, I will put that on, that is what happened. But we didn't pay them twice. We did not pay them twice.
The next thing is for the planning commission. Y'all bring in a court reporter. We have two bills, $300, $200. And these are bills and no one was there. So there was no quorum. So we're still paying a court reporter because it wasn't council.
You still have to pay when they come out.
Which I understand. But my statement is, if the planning commission know they're not gonna have a quorum, then they need to let someone know ahead of time. Because that's $500 of wasted money that we're giving away because they did not attend or didn't alert them ahead of time that they're not gonna have a quorum.
So from my understanding, it was a gentleman who was unable to make it. I don't want to say the person's name. I don't even know his last name right now. I can't think of it, but he was unable to attend, and it was a situation where it was an emergency. He was stuck downtown and there was an accident. So he had called in and they made the decision to cancel it at that moment. So it was a little out of the control of, it was just something that happened.
Okay, for that, but it's two of them. So one was no quorum, the other is cancellation. So we got two events for the planning commission. So reiterate that to those that on the commissions that they need to attend because it costs us money to have a court reporter to come and attend. And then when they cancel it, we still have to pay. So it's not like, oh, it's okay to cancel. That's money that the village is paying out of our taxpayers' dollars.
Trustee Foster, when I was on the commission, we would never know until the day of if they were gonna show up or not. We would give extra time. We would call people to see if they were on their way, but we never knew ahead of time. So,
well, maybe that's something that we put out there that they let them know that when you're not showing up, that's gonna cost us $300 because we still have to have a court report. That's something that needs to be put out to those that are volunteering That is, you're volunteering, but you're gonna cost us money when you don't show up. So I think that should be put out there. The next thing is for the fact finders. I don't understand how background checks cost $1,400 a piece. Even executive, I don't know, I think that's something, I just think we need to look into that. That's for the fire police, I understand for the fire police, but I'm not sure if that's the actual cost. But I definitely would like to know for sure if that's the cost. That,
Originally, I wanna say we had.
or we can find
officers.
somebody else.
I wanna say we had 8 that went through.
Now,
Everybody
that's per person.
didn't make it, yeah, I know but I'm just saying we had, I believe it was 8 officers that went through originally. But they didn't all make it through, pass all of the exams and whatnot, and I think a couple ended up finding work somewhere else. But, I believe it was for 8.
Because I think we did the background checks before you even did the interview process. So I think like Trustee Brooks is usually the interview process is first before you do the background checks. So I think that's something that we need to make sure it's done because it's costing $1,400 and you haven't even interviewed them yet. You don't even know if you want them. So that's wasted money. The next one we are talking about the thing, homewood disposal invoices. There's a lot of invoices for branches and tree removal. Director Stacy. Don't we have a chipper? Don't we have? Yes, we do.
We still have to dispose of that. The bigger trees, our trooper don't take the big logs, so we haul them right to the train.
Okay, there's no other way where we can like put that bark somewhere else. I don't know. It was a whole different astronomical amount of homewood disposal for trees and branch, removal. That's covering. These bills are from like last year and this year. It's still all over the place. Yeah. So I think that's a lot that we spend when we have a chipper. So that's what I'm saying. That's for equipment that we have. We should be using it and find somewhere, put the bark somewhere.
It only takes up to 12 inches. Anything bigger than that, your big trucks and all that, we ship them out. If you want us to leave them at public works, we just put them in the bag and leave them there.
No, we don't want that.
No, we do not need a fine from the EPA.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we don't want that, but I just thought it could be put somewhere. If it was another spot, no, we did put those in, it was put other places before. So if there's other places, if you don't mind looking into those, instead of us paying so much to just have them taken away, I think that'd be a good thing. The next thing I have is the Spirit Group. There was a lot of bills that said TIF services. I don't think that we should be paying for it out of the general funds. It should be paid out of the TIF account. So can you please check all of the Spirit bills, because a lot of them say TIF services and have TIF things, and we should be paying those out of the TIF account.
Yes.
So those are pulled until we separate those.
Yeah, they're reimbursed.
But they don't have to legally be reimbursed. It's off the account. We have a whole TIF.
But we can discuss that.
I mean, because I understand, like, when you just did the whole summary page, and there was no TIF money coming out.
Yeah, but we have to reconcile. We have to reconcile the TIF. There's a lot of things that we have to charge against the TIF, including some of the salaries in Fire Station 2, some of the work in Fire Station 2, and things of that nature. So we're working to make sure that we reconcile our TIF moving forward.
Okay, because there was nothing on the summary page that said any money was taken out, any TIFs. And we have all of these different Spirit Group bills for TIF services. Invoice number 1206. The Spirit is not calculated correctly. It's saying $9,048.25, and that doesn't add up. So if you look at that invoice number, 1206.
Okay, I'll have to review that tomorrow. 1206?
Yes.
Okay,
It is like really like almost like 1,000 something, it's saying 10,000, 9,000 something. So
okay.
when you look at the invoice, it doesn't add up. Another question is, how is mileage calculated?
How, I'm sorry.
The mileage. So we have the per diem and people sit in there per diem, how's that calculated?
For mileage?
Yeah, for-
So for who specifically?
so we have the trustees or whoever goes on different trips or events.
We,
Okay.
no, I've never turned in mileage. I've
Okay.
never seen the mileage turned in, so that's,
I've
never turned in mileage. Who's turned in mileage?
I saw mileage.
From who?
Okay, but I've seen several that said mileage and it was calculated. I just wanted to know how it was calculated, so.
And that was who put that in?
Yeah,
I'll review that.
yeah, so. Do we use the company National Business Furniture a lot? No,
Right now, yeah, we, for as far as I know, we do not. But
okay,
I'll
because it was used for IT furniture, but they did apply taxes to that, so.
So if you can, the list that you have, just because I can't give you direct answers right now, if you could please, and like I said, you know,
All this scribble.
I know, you and I meet on a regular basis. And we do have, you know, I have a Zoom scheduled with Trustee Thompson, but more than willing, we can go over that and take the time to go over that. And I can pull everything for you.
Okay, I only have a couple more, but.
Okay.
So postmaster, it still show a bill, and that was for a mailing to talk about the window stickers. But it should be canceled because it's too late. So we should be paying that bill because they can't send it out.
Well, we are putting out a warning. We're giving an amnesty for a certain amount of time in order for people to get their stickers.
Does it say amnesty? Because this is something that looks like they.
Like a grace period.
Crossmark have already created something and said that if it's not paid for by this certain time period, then it will not be sent out. So I just want to make sure that this one, with the old information, is not going to be paid for because we're not going to be able to deliver it based off of the previous, unless you're going to modify it. I just want to make sure.
Okay.
So if you're saying that y'all going to give an amnesty and change that, then that's fine. But if not, then we should be paying that bill. Okay. The last one is Stanley Pagora attorney, the prosecuting attorney. So we paid them $2,500 a month. Have we used them at all?
Yes, we have.
Okay.
We have night court. We use him for night court. And he's the one who deals with all of the tickets. He comes, you know, we have night court in the evening. Code enforcement will be present. Usually it is Ms. Kitchens comes.
Okay. I just didn't know what it was.
We do.
For. Okay. That was my questions. And what was, so the per diem for the trustees, what is that? Is it a set amount? I see it's $150 per day?
Yes.
Okay. What?
All right, she done asked.
And those are all mine, so all of those different things that we said that has issue, I want to pull them from the bills payable.
Okay, will do.
Okay, so we need to have a motion to accept the amendments and items that were removed from the agenda. Moved by, from the bills payable. Moved by Thompson, second by Williams. Roll call, Madam Clerk. A motion to accept the amendments to the bills payable list. Moved by Trustee Jules Thompson, second by Trustee Gina Williams. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Folger,
Both sides.
Trustee Thompson,
Both sides.
Trustee Williams,
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Votes aye.
Votes aye, and this is to accept the amendments to the bills list. Now, for the bills payable, is there a motion? There's a motion and a second already. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Trustee Lewis.
Yes.
This is as amended.
This is the bills list as amended.
Both sides.
Trustee Fulton. Trustee Thompson.
Both sides.
Trustee Brooks.
Both sides.
Trustee Fields.
Surprisingly, after 2 years,
Say it ain't so.
votes aye.
Mayor.
Votes aye to pay the bills. All right, Madam Clerk. All right, you're welcome. Board.
I would like to.
Speaking of that mic, Madam Clerk.
I would like to present something to our trustees elected over the last 4 years, specifically. As I call your name, would you step forward, please? Trustee Karen Lewis.
Well, I'm still waiting on mine.
No. Trustee Karen Lewis. This has been a long time coming, over 2 years. Thanks to COVID, shut down on a lot of different metals and stuff. But today, I would like to present to you your official Village University Park trustee badge. And your official permission. There's also this small card. It's a sticker, winter sticker, that simply says 2023. Official. You can put it on your windshield or not of your vehicle. But before you can walk away with that, I will need your signature and a witness that you are receiving this. And I must make this statement. This badge does not give you police powers. It does not get you out of tickets. As a matter of fact, I caution you, each of you, when you receive this, to be very, very careful how you display this badge if you're stopped by police, whether they're local, county, state, or wherever, because that does not give you police powers. It simply acknowledges you here. And just like your village stickers, they're only valid in University Park, and no other community can write you a ticket for not having a University Park sticker. Okay, so I would just like to say, here, you take, I'll need. Trustee Faulkner, can you witness her signature? So I'll take this. It was a long time coming. Thank you. The next. Like I say, it's been over 2 years. Trustee Janelle D. McFadden. And I will not make this statement each time I present this, but please. Thank you. Same thing, here is your official village of University badge. But you finally got it. Like they said, it may not come when you want it, but when you get it, it is okay. I will need your signature. So please, thank you. And I've also included a windows, sticker for your windshield that simply says official.
Shut up.
Thank you. Trustee Gina Williams. I've got to take this time to say, first time I've had a chance to publicly say congratulations. And I must say, whether you guys know it or not, this lady was the #1 vote getter in University Park in the 2023 graduation. And what I just said holds true, because I do remember, and I know of an incident where a judge flashed a badge on an Illinois state trooper. And guess what? He was hauled off to jail for attempting to bribe a state police officer. That's why I say be very careful. And so, yeah, I just thought I would share that. It gives you recognition. And it might work out here with you, obviously, but here's your badge. Most of the time, also, I am presenting to you from the office of Karen Yarbrough, Cook County Clerk, your certificate of election. And here we go, along with your sticker for your vehicle. Okay.
All right.
Thank you. Congratulations again. Trustee Jewel Thompson, come on down. Okay. And it's the same thing that I just said to the other trustees, and also from Cook County Clerk, Aaron Yarbrough. Here's your certificate of election from the Cook County Clerk. Here's your official badge. Very proud. And here are these puppies where you can walk away with. I need you to sign both of you. And again, congratulations for coming on board.
No, I did not.
Just wait. Let me do my job.
Make a table. Ain't nobody. Get the other arm.
Trustee Donna. Oh, sure. I would like to say again, congratulations on your election. Welcome aboard. And if you're wondering why you're seated next to me, so I can. Yeah, and pronounce your name right. But again, congratulations. Glad you're aboard. And I'd say this to all of the trustees. I am your clerk. If they're your clerk. And if there's anything that you need to know related to the history, ordinances, resolutions, laws, and stuff, I've been here doing this since 1987, so I should be able to have some of the answers for you. That I don't know, I probably know the sources where I can help you. So feel free to call on me anytime you have a person to feel the need. Hopefully before the board meeting, because I don't want to be going, But again, congratulations, and here's your certificate. Will you attest to her signature, please? Elizabeth Scott. Come on down. I told you when the time was right, this would happen. I finally got the case. And got your sticker for your vehicle. I will need you to sign the signature. But here's your badge, and guess what? It's bigger than theirs. It's bigger than theirs. Okay, thank you. All right, let's welcome.
All right.
And since I've got the mic and that was on the report, I've made mine real quick. I would first like to say thank you, University Park, for who you are, what you do, and helping us make this community be the best it can be. Thank you for your votes, electing me to my 6th consecutive term as your elected village clerk. I would like to thank all of those who voted for me, for your votes, your support. To those who did not vote for me, guess what? I am your clerk too. And I will serve you with the same impartiality, with the same diligence, with the same that I do those who voted for me. This is a community that I love. And I would like to say to those of you who are not involved in the community, get involved. There's always something that we as an individual and as a collective group can do to help move this village forward. I encourage all residents, if you have a complaint, bring it to the proper people. But remember, there are some good things happening, and it's okay to compliment and applaud the good work that's being done. Become a part of it. And again, thank you. Welcome your new board. And I'm here. If you need me. Was I being timed?
Yeah, you was being timed, Madam Clerk, yes, ma'am. We know how you can go. Thank you. Report from the department heads. Ma'am, we'll start with you, Chief Chelios, and then Chief Mitchell, to our board members who have comments.
Good evening. For the month of June, Public Works has been out cutting and cleaning the village parkway. They've been cutting and cleaning around the town center area, the garbage cans and all that. Also, we've replaced 7 street signs. They've been out replacing or putting up missing flip down stop signs at the intersections. We cut down 2 dead trees, 3 trees related to high winds. Public Works has repaired 6 underground breaks for street lights. We've also changed 6 street light bulbs along with 4 photo cells on them. We replaced 6 street light fixtures. We've also replaced 3 fixtures at Pine Lake. As you drive through to where the parking spots are, they replaced the old lights that weren't working. And we also repaired or replaced the damaged one along the bike path. We've serviced 4 police cars, 5 public works vehicles, along with any other miscellaneous jobs coming into the shop. Also, we've been out cutting and cleaning at the Metro East parking lot and West parking lot, cutting grass, weed whipping, picking up garbage, emptying the garbage cans around the area.
Did you see the one light that's out in the east block?
Yes, we got to get meat out for that because our truck doesn't reach up that high. So they're going to call me back Monday with the day to come out next week. And that's all.
You have the 10621.
Thank you. Ma'am, Mr. Stacy.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, I got one for you.
Chief Chelios.
Mayor Rudez, Board of Trustees, good evening. I do not have my typical report ready for this evening. I talked to Manager Scott before the meeting for July's board meeting, and then from there forward, I will have the regular numbers on call numbers for the month for my department, along with an activity report for code enforcement as well on number of inspections completed, things like that per month. So the way it'll follow is by the time the July meeting comes up, I'll have the data and report the numbers for June. And then hopefully that cycle will continue where I'll be able to report for the previous month, keep everybody up to speed on what we're doing. I just want to wish everyone a safe and happy 4th of July holiday. Please, please, please leave the fireworks to the professionals. It's much safer to look up on the internet or social media and find out where a controlled fireworks display is occurring and take the family to watch it in that manner. We are working through different departments and working employee groups to perform CPR training and get everyone certified. We have automatic defibrillator devices purchased for Village Hall and for this space here at 90. We will get those devices installed in those locations as soon as we know that people are trained to use them properly, so they can use them safely if they ever have to. We're gonna be working with Chief Mitchell in the police department on National Night Out next month. So I'll leave that for him to discuss if he wishes to. And we're also working with Office of Special Events to prepare for the back to school parade and all that stuff coming up in August as well. That's all I got. Anyone's got any questions?
I do have one question, Chief. Would there be an opportunity for residents to get CPR as well, do CPR classes as well?
Yeah, that's gonna be the next phase after we get through village staff and employees. We've already been having unofficial conversations with folks at the library to see if we can do a class down there, which is more of a controlled setting for anyone that wants to attend. It's within the walking distance for those that can't make it by vehicle. So it's gonna be it'll be more of a bystander version of CPR, but it will include the use of AEDs as well.
All right, thank you so much, Chief. Chief Mitchell.
Mr. Mayor, Village Board, Manager, Madam Clerk, and University Park citizens. Just a few items. I don't know if you noticed, there's been enhanced parking enforcement, particularly up and along those stretches of University roadway that's clearly marked no parking. We've also made it an emphasis to make sure we are dealing with parking, overweight truck parking over in the industrial park. As you know, overweight trucks tear up the roads over there, it costs a lot. And so we've been enhanced parking enforcement. We also instituted enhanced traffic enforcement. I don't know if you notice, pulling over more cars, for speeding, for loud music, for burning rubber, and we're still going after all those cars where people are driving crazy. We want you to call us. You see somebody driving crazy, just call us, all right? And give us the, if you know it, the make, model, and color of the vehicle, if you can. We completed several chats with the chief. We got another one upcoming. July 20th, we'll be at the library from 6 to 8. Come on out. It's just an informal conversation where we talk. July 20th. It'll be every third Thursday of the month. And we move it around from different portions of the village. In fact, the first couple of times it was here, it'll be at the library, and then in August, it'll be over at Hickory Creek. What time? 6 to 8. We completed our Cop on Top. Some of you all might have seen us up on top of the Dunkin' Donuts in Richmond Park. They were gracious enough to partner with us, Trustee Lewis and Mayor Rudez. Mayor Rudez got up on the roof with us. It took us a while to get down though, afraid of heights. Oh yeah, Claudia, you know, she got up there also, Ms. Webb. It's higher than it looks. Just want you to know that. We also participated in the law enforcement for Special Olympics, torch run, Trustee Fulcher, and several other, the mayor and Trustee Karen Lewis, and other citizens ran with us. It was a hot day. It was a challenging day, but if you saw on social media, we made it through. Next year, I'm looking for more of you all to come out with us and do the torch run. They made it, and Trustee Lewis did it in Crocs. The police department has completed and submitted a couple of grants, so keep your fingers crossed and see if we get them. We are actively working to become NIBRS compliant. We've ramped up our training cycle with the police department, and we are completely compliant with ILETSB, the Illinois Law Enforcement Training and Standards Board. And our big function, National Night Out, will be August 1st. It'll be right out there in front of Fort Town Center from 6 to 8. Come on out. We have some partners that are going to be coming out with us, social service partners, where citizens come out. It's not a party. It's for us to show that crime does not rule us, but we also are getting some services to come out And so you can come out, we have a few services like Crisis Center, South Suburbia, some mental health services that are coming out, and you come out and see what services are there and maybe get some help. And so it's actually a working event. And so we hope to see you come out. And that concludes my report.
Thank you so much, Chief. Yeah, and Chief Clerk would like to have a copy when possible. Trustee Williams, anything?
I don't have a prepared report, but I do want to thank everybody that came out tonight and those that continue to come out and support the community. Thank you all for voting for me and even those who didn't. We hope to grow unity in the community. I sincerely feel that we are on the brink of turning things around and making University Park a great place the way it once was. So I just continue to encourage people, come out, give us your comments, your questions. Let's work together and let's make things happen in University Park.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee Brooks.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, general public. This is actually the first report since since the election, right? So I just want to thank everyone who did come out tonight. I want to thank everyone who did come out and vote. You have to respect the process. I don't care if you lose by one. It's the democracy of America. And the right thing to do, especially on the night of swearing in, because that was the first time that we had the opportunity to see each other, all of us, since the election, and I think we had to recount maybe a couple days before that. So, and even then, down at the recount, it was a respectful process with the mayor and myself. And I know they were probably thinking that doggone University Park, but it was respectful. And even as we left, the clerk shook both of our hands and said that she pretty much wished the best for University Park. So in saying that, coming back, I understood that I'm still here to 2025 as your trustee. It feels good to be your trustee that got some experience. Was it 6 years? So yeah, on the board, so it felt good. Since then, let me just go down and say a couple pointers. One, I want everyone to remember the Diane Alexander's family. There was a funeral right after the election. And like I said, we didn't have a chance. A lot of us did not have the chance to give our condolences to the family. But let's remember her, keep her family in prayers as she left here suddenly. And so it was a devastation to the community as well as New Hope Church. And she left, First Baptist she was, yes, Diane passed away, yes, first wife, she passed away suddenly, cancer, yes, on Union, yes, sir. So, so let's keep them in prayer. I just want to make a point about Miss Marianne Alexander who left. I want everyone to understand this. What you say at the podium is important, but the point of us trying to have the standing rules, and look, I've even done it as a commissioner. The mayor still has to keep the order of the meeting. It gets confusing when he has his board members who are supposed to be listening for 30 minutes, but then the public wants us to reply. At the same time, you have Matt steady trying to manage the clock, and the mayor trying to manage the clock. We can't get everybody in if you want to respond. So please understand, it's not that nobody don't want to respond because they're trying to add something corrupt or we don't want to say anything. It's that we're trying to get through the meeting. We want the public to tell us what they feel. If we can give the answer, we'll give the answer. So Miss Alexander, I know you're upset, but at the same time, she left. But it, huh? Well, I mean, it's the American process. Yeah. So it's 9:45. What the mayor's trying, and the board of trustees and the standing rule, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get out of here by 8:00, 8:30. Trustee Bowler still remembers, she remembers that it gets long when we hear. Another one, I want to say two things. During the election, there was a couple mailings that went out. One of them was not a mailing, but the chairman of the Concerned Citizens Committee want me to make it be known that there was a mailing that went out. Unfortunately, it was a negative against an opponent. And it had the Concerned Citizens Committee emblem on it. So the first thing they said is because Trustee Brooks is part of it and he's running for mayor, it was Trustee Brooks. I'm gonna tell you right now, it wasn't me. If you got something, it was in the mail, period. Only thing I did, I challenged the mayor about the aqua, he challenged me about something, that was it. We put our name on it, that's it. We have no reason to go out and slap CCC on it and say, Theo Brooks did it. I'm telling you now publicly, I did not do that. And the chairman of the CCC has filed a complaint with Springfield, and it is being investigated, and trust me, they will track down the print shop who did it. He already got the lawyers. I spoke with him not too long ago. The next one was, I thought it was shameful, is that this one was signed and delivered to your door with a picture of Mayor Covington, Chief Wilson on it. Right. Trustee Brooks and Mr. Rudez has disrespected women in this village. Yeah, see, you're right. It was a lot of, it kept hitting certain areas. You know, maybe that's what God wanted. Everybody didn't need to see it. But his name and my name, we were all on it, and it was signed, sealed, delivered, and that we disrespect women. Let me stop you right now. When I ran for clerk, number one, I had Bernice, I'm sorry. When I ran for mayor, I had someone who ran for clerk on my ticket. Now, do you think if you knew Bernice O'Brien and I was disrespectful to women, do you think she gonna be on, do you think I would live through that election? Then, on top of it, I'm sitting between two wonderful women, Jewel Thompson and Gina Williams, who was on my ticket. Where is it that Theo Brooks is finding disrespect to women? It's unacceptable. And nobody pictured Mayor Covington picture. I asked him, Mayor Covington, did you know? No, I didn't know. Chief Wilson, did you know anything about it? No, I didn't know. You didn't, you're right, you didn't see it, but it's wrong. And what I'm saying is it's turning off people from the electoral process. That's what it's doing, and that's my point to it. You just slandered two officials. You lied. It was a blatant lie. And I'm still not happy about it. Because it was not, I have a copy, I can tell you, it should not have went out into everyone's mailbox. You know, this negativity is costing people coaching jobs and so forth. So you shouldn't do it. And on top of it, I remember when I first ran, I've always heard the mayor call D. Jones Madam Clerk. It carried on and it stuck. Then Mayor Covington, Madam Mayor. Curtis McMullen and myself promised that that would be the only title she would receive because she was in the middle of a conflict during her term. Then we had Jonna Townsend, and it was, who came after her? Whoever the next one, I think Miss Scott. I made the commitment to say, if we have a Chief Payton, right, Chief Payton, but he was a mayor. I made it clear that every time we have a village manager who's a female, I will call them Madam Village Manager. So ladies and gentlemen, that was put into everybody's mailbox. I don't feel happy about it because it's a lie and it's turning people off. And every woman in here knows that I'll be the first one to stand up and fight for you. I grew up in a beauty shop. I know about hot flashes and everything, so you ain't supposed to say that politically, but I don't care no more. Say what I want to say. Regal Farm, man, if you don't get to it, I will cut the front of that because the community block club always like that front to be cut. I know it gets overgrown. So if, if your guys don't get to it, I'll get to it. It's no big deal. I can help try to upkeep that for the rest of the summer. That was one thing that was mentioned to me. What is the last one? Happy 4th of July to you. I want to say, everyone, once again, let's please be safe. Our children should come first. I'm very proud of this board. When I say we have a conversation more, actually today, I didn't even know how to act because it was a meeting where we all agreed for something. Trustee Fulcher, her mind is just what Trustee Brooks' mind was at. Some of y'all just remember, all you gotta do is rewind 1 year ago. Was I not doing the same thing? I just got tired at one point, so I'm not pulling it. I ain't even got the vote. So, but I felt good tonight voting yes for a lot of things. So University Park, this is a new board. And it feels good to have conversation, especially for those who've been here for a while. And as always, Trustee Brooks took up 10 minutes and I yield my time.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like my comments to be read onto the records, and I have a copy of the clerk's address. As I said when I was campaigning, I wrote myself out. I don't want to forget it. As I said when I was campaigning for the voters' support, we can build a better University Park if we work together. One person, and not even 7 people, can have all the ideas on what we need to do next and to plan for the future. I'm proposing that we reestablish all the committees we had in the past. The committees were beneficial to the village for so many reasons, and these are a few of those reasons. We have many residents in this village who have expertise and experience in many areas. The committees allow residents to have input into solving the problems and creating new ideas to improve our village quality of life. The committees provide checks and balances to the administration, which have been lacking in recent years. The committees also ensure that transparency is the rule and not an exception. As we reestablish the committees and as residents submit their name to serve, I would hope that no one would be denied for arbitrary reasons, like I once was, and that all applications come before the entire board for review. If the committee membership is fulfilled, there should always be room for advisory members. No one should be denied participation. I'll go first. I would like to serve as liaison on the Public Services and Utilities Committee and the Veterans Affairs Committee. I would ask the clerk to provide updated, or who's ever responsible, updated applications for residents who want to apply to serve on these committees within the next 30 days. The village website needs to be updated before the 30 days to include all the committee's functions, meeting times and places. Some of them are not right. The functions of each committee should be reviewed and updated to reflect residents' current needs and concerns. I would also like to propose 2 new committees, the Health and Wellness Committee and the Beautification Committee. Thank you.
Thank you, trustees, and residents. I'd like to just say thank you all for showing up and coming. We appreciate all of your comments. We appreciate you all being out there, that we're not looking at empty seats. It makes a difference. I also just wanted to thank the village manager. I did send an email because in my concerns that I wanted to make sure that the directors began to start presenting to the residents and to the board what they're doing. They work hard and we need to know what you're doing. So we'll know that when we are talking about the different departments out of the community, we'll know what to say. We'll know to say that you want to replace these lights, different things like that. So the work that you do, I want to know on a monthly basis, the trustees and the residents want to know. So that's why I asked the village manager to make sure that our directors are part of our meetings only at the regular board meetings once a month to provide reports because that's something for us to gauge and to make sure that we know that the things that we are asking you all to do, you all are doing it and you are doing it well. So thank you for reaching out to them and having provided for it. I just want to thank all the trustees for just serving the mayor for what he's doing as well. We want to make sure that we all stay informed about different things, as well as committees like Trustee Thompson was saying, that we need to get them back because there is a lot of residents that are wanting to do things and have asked. I had a resident, Katrina Johnson, wanted to be a part of one of the committees. I'm not sure which one.
Jones.
Jones, sorry, Katrina Jones asked to be a part of a committee. So residents are asking to be a part of it. So hopefully we are, recommending them and they are being presented. All of them are being presented to be on the different committees. I want to say happy 4th of July to everybody. Have a be safe, have fun. There's a lot of stuff going on. We got an extended weekend actually because 4th of July is on Tuesday. So some people might be partying all the way until.
They've already started.
So enjoy. That's all my comments.
Thank you, Trustee. Trustee McFadden.
I would just like to say, I think this is a great team we have here working together. I'm looking forward to changing the village and us becoming one, not two different sides, but one team. And I would also like to thank the Village of University Park, and this is Denmark.
Got it, Denver.
Denver. My son was awarded a scholarship from the village. He will be attending University of Illinois in Champaign. Japanese. So thank you, everyone that contributed, and I look forward to a great year with our new team. And happy 4th of July to everyone.
All right, thank you.
I have one more, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, so I wanted to congratulate the Pre-Monique University Park Pinto baseball team. They won their the championship at the silver level. So I wanted to congratulate them. Thank you.
Is that your team, coach?
It's not my team. Unfortunately, it's not my team, but it's the Pinto level, which is the ones down. That's the 7 and 8 year olds. So they did win their championship at the silver level. So I want to congratulate them.
Thank you. Trustee Luke.
Thank you everyone for coming out. I do have a report from Nina Fame, but it's only, I can give it only to the trustees, and there's certain information that we can't divulge because she is still in litigation. So that will be sent to the trustees. Also, the residents have been asking for a fresh market on Saturday or farmers market. I am working with Will County to provide that along with Meals and Wheels to come that day. So we don't have a definite date, but I am planning and hoping to get a farmers market and get that started out here at University Park. That's what I've been working on so far. So I will send a report to the trustees. It's confidential to you guys, and then we'll figure out a way to have some stuff to say to the residents that we can't divulge to them.
All right, thank you.
I know you mentioned farmers market, but Faithful Church do have food giveaway every Saturday at 10 a.m. So that's something for the residents to go to as well.
Thank you, Trustee. Manager Scott.
Good evening, everyone. Just a couple updates. The sprinkler system, finally, we didn't have a plat of survey of the building, couldn't find it, so took a while to put the plans together, but as you can see, this is why we're in this temporary space. It should only be like this for another couple of weeks. They're working on this unit going that way. So hopefully they should be done within the next couple of weeks. We did receive the $500,000 from Will County for the lead pipe replacement. As I stated before, we couldn't apply for the larger funding because we don't own our infrastructure. So the money that we did receive, I did have an initial meeting with Mr. Flowers, Mr. Ron Smith from Robinson Engineering, who is going to be working with me in conjunction with Randall from Antero to make sure that we get this advantageous grant to the residents. The residents are going to be basically getting the lead pipes in their home remediated. So we did start the initial meeting on that. And as we progress, I will provide an update at the next board meeting. The other thing, as you can see, what was on the agenda, Pine Lake, they're gonna start construction on that next month. That is gonna be for one dock. We are applying for the park grant. And like I said, that's gonna encompass, a gazebo, the restrooms, and the other dock. Fire Station 2, completely renovated. It looks fabulous, did a walkthrough. The roof has been fixed. We are looking for the grant from Will County, so thank God we passed this resolution. Will County is aware, typically when you apply for these grants, you submit the resolution. They are aware of the schedule of the board meeting, so we will be submitting that, and hopefully we will get that $100,000 that we put in for Fire Station 2 to fix their driveway. Regal Farm also, we're starting the initial planning phase for that. Also, we've been meeting with the Teamsters for the past several months. Chief and I, as well as Rosalind from the Teamsters and other members of the Teamsters members, and we are coming close to finalizing the union contract. So hopefully that will be forthcoming within the next week. Working with Lauren to reconcile the fire department, police department, and AFSCME payroll, just to get everything tight, straightened out, to iron out the kinks. We've had a lot of issues with that, so we're getting that straight and reconciling payroll to make sure that everything is on point. EV readiness. Thank you for passing the ordinances for the EV readiness so that we can submit that. We are still participating. We meet monthly, actually a couple times a month, in a workshop with other municipalities, the other 16 that are participating throughout the state, including the city of Chicago. We're nearing the end of that. That should be closing sometime. They haven't given a definitive date because people are still trying to pass ordinances and tighten up. I'm aiming that we're going to get an award. I hope so. Please keep your fingers crossed because I'd like to represent for University Park and show up and show out. The budget. We have had a few meetings for the budget. We've had several trustees, the mayor. We actually had a really good turnout from the board for the budget meetings. We will be having another one. I had to cancel the last one due to just a lot of people were doing things at that moment and we couldn't get together. So we will be having another one next week, probably sometime after the 4th of July. I will be announcing that. I'm hopeful that we will pass this budget not in December. I'd like to pass it sometime in July. We'll see if we get there, but that is my hope for this community so that we can get back on track to having regularly scheduled budgets and not work in the past and actually predict proper budgeting for the future. Also, I wanted to say that I attended the ILCMA conference, which is for managers and administrators throughout the state. It was amazing. It was great to fellowship with people. I ran into a couple people. Derek Champion, I think, was there, and also someone from Richmond Park, Regan Stockdale. So we had good conversation. It's a really good opportunity to get together with other managers and kind of bounce ideas off of one another. You get support. You can ask candid questions. It doesn't leave the room. And you really learn a lot about skill sets and ways to survive this treacherous terrain. The other thing that I wanted to mention that I think is really noteworthy for us. So we were selected for the American Planning Association, the Illinois chapter. That's going to be in Naperville, September 11th through the 13th. We were actually submitted for the master plan conference submission. They were so impressed by our TOD plan that we were selected for the award submission. So we may be traveling there to present and speak about this TOD plan, which is really, I think, speaking volumes for University Park in the direction that the community is going. Also, we are still working on our Safe Streets for All. That's going to be for this project here across the street that wasn't completed, that walkway. We're looking to have that completed and to extend all the way to Governor State going down. So that's it for now, and that's it.
All right, well, thank you, Manager Scott. Go ahead, Louis.
One other thing I wanted to mention to the residents The mayor, myself, and Manager Scott went to Governor State to speak on behalf of the nursing program that was just awarded to the young ladies that it will be at Governor State now. The F&P program that was just accredited, we spoke on their behalf and they were awarded that program at Governor State. So just to let you guys know, we went to spoke on our behalf of the village, so our community, so our kids can have a program to go to here instead of have to go on, where Jill, downtown or something like that. Yeah. So it is now University Park.
All right, well, thank you, Trustee Lewis, and I'll close out. Oh, Felicia.
Something really quick, and I'll put this out there and you guys can let me know later. I just, last Monday, I did a new board member training in Park Forest, and what I did was at 6 o'clock, an hour before the board meeting. It's an open meeting, and I just presented to the new members of the board and everyone, and just went over some stuff. There were people in the audience that were there too, and I think it's important. I'm not looking to charge you. The presentation's done. I'm not trying to bill you for it because I would just come an hour early. But I'm just saying, I think it would be helpful for maybe the new board members and some of the residents, because I think it's difficult for residents to understand that this is a business meeting. And you really are here to conduct business. And it's not like with public comments, I went over stuff like that, whereas you don't have to answer. If you're able to answer, great, but you are really here to conduct business. Like, you're conducting the business of the village. And so I'm just gonna throw it out there. You guys can speak with Elizabeth about it, but if that's something you wanna do at your next board meeting, like I said, not looking to charge you for it. I just think it may be a good idea for you and your residents, just because I think it could educate, them as to what exactly, happens at the board meeting. And I went over stuff too, like motions and village manager form of government. You don't have to go over all of that, or I don't have to go over all of that if you want to, but just wanted to throw it out there at your next board meeting. So.
Thank you so much, Felicia. Well, as we close out, I'll make my comments very brief. Thank you guys for coming out. There's some very good times ahead. There's been a lot done. There's still a lot more to do. We look forward to constituents' engagements. But as the 4th of July comes up, be very conscious of fireworks, be conscious of your surroundings. Lock your car doors when you leave your cars in the driveway, bring your personal belongings inside the house. And I just like to wish everyone a happy 4th of July, stay safe. And one thing I like to leave everybody with, the biggest mistake that we all make is thinking that we have time. We do not. Take advantage of the time that we do have. Let's make the most out of it and move our community forward. I thank you. And is there a motion? Move. Second. All in favor? Question? No.